What's going on? Let's go, YouTube. First official live stream on the Nana Kweku live show. Let's see if we're on the right channel. Bear with me. Yes, we are live. We are live. We are live on the official Nana Kweku live channel. Before you guys come in, I'm gonna go to one of the new songs coming out of South Africa. Let's go. What's going on, YouTube? We are on the Nana Kweku live channel. As I've explained in the past, live streams are coming here. I expect this to be a slow process. I've done this before, so don't worry. Even if it's one of you watching, two watching, the clips are gonna go to the main channel. I had to do this for analytical purposes because it's just live streams are just messing up my analytics on the long form videos, and I just have to separate those two lanes. Eventually, I'm going to delete all the old live streams from the old channel and just make that strictly a long form content video due to just the complexities of the YouTube algorithm. I've been studying it over the years now. I just think that this is just better long term strategy. Could be wrong, but this is why we test stuff. This is why we try stuff. In the age of data and data analytics, uh, you have to evolve. You have to always see the trends, see what you can do to improve your distribution, especially for a very small channel. You have to always figure out a way to, and I'm sure some people have done this and figured this out, but nobody ever shares their YouTube strategies with anybody. Nobody tells you what they're doing. The goal is to grow, but also to grow organically, right? And part of your growth is to study your analytics, and this is just the findings of me studying my analytics and figuring out a way to make the experience better for the viewer and also the production easier on my end. When I separate the two, I can easily clip it, instead of repeating the same video in clips. It's just too much. Anyway, so that was Memesa from Vumala. He's only got 2,000, less than 2,000 subscribers. He's a new artist out of South Africa. But this is the latest two-step that is making the rounds in South Africa. So for those of you that love this kind of music, this is one of the things that occasionally I will share with you. But I just did a video about the Haitian, the lady, the Haitian lady that said "dirty black Americans." There was a ton of live streams. Let me see if I can find this guy. I hate talking about this idiot, but he's one of the guys that did a whole live stream about this, made some money on this. There it is. As you can see, what did she say? Uh, I I lose brain cells listening to this idiot, but for the purposes of content, we're gonna do it. Also, I saw it in my reaction video in some of your comments, which I just posted. A lot of you are saying this could have been staged. Knowing what a lot of these ninjas have been doing nowadays, especially Tariq Nasheed leaning podcast and live streams, because this is the same podcast where Dave Anderson went on the last time. I would not be surprised if this was staged. Sometimes you get some of these immigrant ladies dating some of these FBAs, and they can give her some money because you can tell she's got the lace. She's trying to dress like them, talk like them, right? These are the rare immigrants that we have issues with, the ones that try to fit the narratives that these guys are trying to push. So I would say I'm leaning more towards that assumption that this could have been staged because it increases the rage. But staging a thing like this can also be dangerous. This is what these idiots don't understand. Like this is, but hey, this is how they make their money, and if this is the direction they want to go, that's fine. We are gonna react to it too and add our perspective to it. And it is what it is, right? So they should keep staging it. We know Tariq Nasheed was staging a lot of his bullshit in the beginning. People caught on. Now he tries to go on real panels, and most of the times he gets smoked. A lot of the guys who smoke him. But yeah, this guy went on. What is the total number of hours he spent on this? He spent 3 hours and 30 minutes on just this topic alone, like the one little phrase that this girl said, which in comparison to the things they say about us, it's nothing, right? But we're gonna go in and listen to a little bit of his mannerisms because I like to see that from him from time to time.
It's on now. Family, who the hell is this? And what the hell they talking about dirty black Americans? I'm saying if we're going to talk about who's dirty, we should start with that homeland right there. If we're going to talk about who's dirty, we need to talk about that background right there. And ain't neither one of those certified foundational black Americans. So we going to say, what the hell you talking about? But we about to go to work today, FBA Friday. We in the house. Crib. And the first thing they said was that you were a dirty black American. How's your response gonna be? Are y'all gonna be sitting there like this? Y'all gonna be sitting there like this? Y'all gonna be sitting there like this? Are y'all gonna try to hear their perspectives? Are you gonna go back and forth with them? Are y'all gonna say just chill out? Or y'all gonna go into full 100% to the maximum regulating? I'm not feeling the energy right now, family. In case people don't know, the delineation era and the regulating era is not the nice business. It's the serious business, and we're going to get serious. My brothers and sisters in the building just said, hell no. They going to handle that. They going to check that. Yeah, her experience. What you mean? When somebody says you're a dirty black American and they say, is that your experience? There ain't no experience with calling 50.
Hey, you guys say worse things than this. When it comes to talking bullshit to other people, y'all say the worst. I'm laughing at this. It's not. I don't support what she said, but their reactions are ridiculous. Is all I'm saying. The reactions to this stuff is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I I didn't expect this then to piss them off like this, even if it's staged, because these guys probably don't know it's staged, so they will react to it the same way I am reacting to it. But if you take these reactions, they have so much energy for things like this, but they don't have any energy when it comes to work, when it comes to doing productive stuff, when it comes to uh, doing things that really champion reforms and change, things that project positivity. It's not part of their lingo. It's just not who they are. They are this, this is a structural um, group of rebels. Okay, they just rebel. That's what they're militants from birth. So you can tell from the mannerisms and the expressions, And this is a guy, and a lot of what I've realized from people like this, they are intellectually weak. They are loudmouths and talkers, but they are intellectually weak. But they are also physically weak. These are insecure, weak men that don't have any skill whatsoever. So they're gonna do the Tariq thing. This guy in particular, he's gonna do the Tariq thing till the wheels fall off. He's just gonna milk it and milk it and milk it. This was 3 hours and 30 minutes of milking and super chats, right? This is the same idiot that when I checked, I tagged him, so he saw it. He went on and made one video because he thought I was like one of those Africans that he can shut up and make videos and outgo away. And I think somebody may have told him about me. Or he went back to some of my old videos and understood that there are levels to this, that I am a forever troller. I don't need people to help me. I can push back my own way and I can go as hard, if not harder. I got no limits whatsoever when it comes to these people. Like, I don't give a fuck. So, excuse my French, I'm trying to get better. But anyway, I think he did a little bit of his homework. I called him out and he never responded. He just stayed away from me. He didn't want none of that smoke. So I know people like this. They're usually very weak people. It's just loud on the internet. This is why. So this is a kind of kid that would need. When you're a child, you like fine motor skills. You need a little bit of extra learning. Like they have to put you through some type of on a spectrum class so that it can help you with your balance and with your fine motor skills. He probably grew up in the hood, so he didn't have that support system or that support base, which in turn, he has to use his hands to control a lot of his speech. This is somebody that has some speech impediments,
50 million of us are dirty black Americans. Y'all see how they already started off playing patty cake, bakers, manna, be nice to a damn tether as much as you can. We ain't doing none of that. Hell no. Y'all see right there? I see everybody in the chat. Somebody said that we're getting drugged.
You don't have to be nice to anybody. This is what I'm trying to get them to understand. This is why I call myself the president of the TEDx, so that I can speak for all immigrants. You don't have to be nice to us. You just have to live as if we don't exist here, like you do with the Indians. Why are you not talking about Indians? Exactly. You need to look at us like the Ukrainian refugee or the Ukrainian immigrant. Look at us as any other group or class of immigrants that has nothing to do with you. Once you look at it that way, there's nothing to worry about. There's no conflict. And this is actually very true, because I don't know any group of Africans that live in black neighborhoods or black communities. They don't. They don't. You find it very rare cases in rare specific cities. And the only time that happens is if these Africans are on some type of social benefits or programs, or technically poor Africans, poor. But the middle class to upper middle class Africans, they're not checking for black neighborhoods. They're trying to get away from black neighborhoods. So I don't know why they've made this about us per se. I think it's mostly from a racial lens, is because of the skin color. But once you take skin color out, we are not even, there's nothing that we have in common. Completely different people, like absolutely different people from the inside out, completely different. So your delineation is to enforce that difference. But why are you adding insults and fights and wars to it? Just separate yourself. Go live in your own neighborhoods. Go live in your own communities. Buy from only your own vendors. It's just the same way you've done with the whites. Do the same with us. Leave us alone. But no, you can't leave us alone, because then you won't be able to make any money. The grift is part of making money, and you need rage to make that thing work. This is why they're doing that, because they can leave us alone. We're not minding. I mean, I'm not sitting here sweating and worrying about black Americans. I don't even come in contact with them. I talk to black Americans on YouTube more than I do in real life. Sometimes I think over the last month, I haven't, apart from the lady that whose son goes to my son's school and showed up at my son's birthday party, I probably haven't talked to a black American in 12 months. I haven't seen any. They're not around where I live. They don't shop where I shop. I'm just not, and they don't go to school where my kids go to school. So, and that's the story for a lot of us. It's not because it's not out of hate. It's just my reality. That's my life. If I step outside right now, my neighborhood is 80% Indian, and a few Nigerians and some Africans, and the rest is white from other parts of the world. It's actually very, very immigrant heavy where I live, but it's just upper class immigrants. So, and that is the case for most people, especially here in the Dallas area. That is the case for most people. So we don't even come into contact with these people, except for these internet stuff that we could react to and talk about. The only conversations I've had, this is the most conversations I've had with black Americans since I moved to America 20 years ago. This is the most I've had, which is funny, right? The most conversations I've had with black people in America is on YouTube. If I didn't come on YouTube, I'd have never been in contact with them. When I went to college and grad school, the same. I didn't run into any of them, because that's not the places that they find themselves in for the most part. So, and that is the story for a majority of us. So we are fighting a fight with a group of people that are not even around you. They're not even in your presence. They're not in your midst. They could be on the East Coast, where it's all apartments, and it's kind of all crammed up into zones based on your income. So you find that there's, the poor and the middle class are just pretty much stuck in the same boroughs because of just how expensive New York is. But outside of New York and LA, these groups are completely far apart from each other. This should have never been a conversation, because these groups are just not in contact with each other at all. We should, like, literally don't have any contact. Let me see if there's any comments. Salute to you, Rick. That's not a diaspora war. If they were complaining about the Africans in the 60s, they will complain about Africans. Everybody's going to complain about anybody that moves into their country that looks like them. You think Indians don't speak about Black Americans? I live with Indians. They don't just not just speak, they act. Okay, they act. They stay in their lane. We stay in our lanes too. When is a great spectator? Just be honest with us. When is the last time you physically talked to an African in your real life, not on the internet? In your real life, when is the last time you physically came into contact with an African? I want to know. You're now shifting it to Kwame Nkrumah. I don't care what the Africans did in the 60s and married an Arab. I'm just talking about, tell me now, like when is the last time outside of the internet, no TikTok, no YouTube, in your real life, when is the last time that you had a conversation with an African? I want to know. I'm very interested in knowing. I want to know don't tell me exactly where you live, but like just give me an idea of your state. If there's an African community there of some sort, Nigerian, Ghanaian, tell me the last time you had a conversation with an African. Most Africans stick within their smaller groups. If you are Kenyan, the Kenyans hang out. They don't even hang out with the Ghanaians. Yeah, you have one Nigerian friend. There's 2 million, 3, 4 million Black Africans and Caribbeans that live here in the US. You only have one. I even have more Black American friends then. Because when I lived in North Dakota, I came into contact with a lot of them when I worked for Halliburton. But when I left North Dakota, I just never came into contact. When I came to Texas, which has even more Black people, I never came into contact with Blacks in the Texas area. The closest area where I can really come into a lot of Blacks is 1 hour away from me. I got to drive one whole hour to get to the nearest uh, congregation of Black people. We don't come into contact with each other. That's the real truth. We don't. We talk more on the internet than we talk in real life. We really don't come into contact with each other. That's the truth. Like Nigerians hang out with Nigerians, Gambians hang out with Gambians. The only time we cross hang out is when we have a festival and some people hear about it, or when we work together. So even amongst Africans here in the West, we find out that our closest friends come from the same countries that we've come from. So even we need to do better at integrating ourselves with the other African groups and the Caribbean groups. We don't even come into contact with each other within the African context. So with all the stuff we have in common between Ghana and Nigeria and Congo and all these other places being African, we don't come into contact with ourselves. You see, we don't even come into contact with ourselves in the US because some people are working 3 jobs, driving Uber. In real life, it's not out of hate. We just don't have the space and time to come into contact with each other. We're just doing different things. Some people are working 3 jobs, taking care of different things at home, helping people here and there. They're constantly on the clock trying to make money. When they're off the clock, they're driving Uber. They're doing little things on the side. Guys are just going fifth gear. So that is not because of hating Black Americans. They just not they don't find themselves in the same spaces because a lot of them are just working their butts off, just trying to make some money to help with issues back home. And when they have a little bit of time off to hang out and drink some beers, they do it between themselves. So Nigerians will hang out with Nigerians, Ghanaians will hang out with Ghanaians, Zambians will hang out with Zambians. Why do I know this? I'm married to a Zambian. And when she goes to hang out, she hangs out just amongst a Zambian group. When I hang out, I just hang out among Ghanaians and Nigerians. And then we have mutual friends, and sometimes we just all come together as one group, but we don't even hang out like that amongst ourselves, amongst Africans. Same with the Caribbean guys. We don't really come, even here in the US, we don't even come into contact as much with our Caribbean brothers that most people assume it to be. So if I didn't hear these Haitian stories, the last Haitian I did something with was in North Dakota. That's the last time I came around a Haitian guy. These things are not true. It's just internet manufactured. Uh, that the Africans started the diaspora war. What time do they have to start the diaspora war? A lot of them come here to make money. If you come to America to start a diaspora war instead of making money, you failed. That's the whole point.
And by the way, I don't know about y'all family. I'm just saying, if you come up in here looking like that, fam, that look like Manny. Okay. And y'all know what Manny rhymes with. And Manny rhyming with what I'm talking about right here, you gonna get your ass embarrassed in front of every damn body. Trust me when I tell you. But fam, she get even more disrespectful. And we gonna break all of this down. We in here already. 1.1K, everybody. Smash the like button. Share this broadcast. FBA Friday. Black Alpha Network. Certified Black Society.
So I apologize
What experience you had?
if I offended you.
You accept the apology?
No,
Yeah,
you
how?
said.
Like that's super disrespectful. Like, yo.
She did say, is dirty black Haitians too?
Yeah, and here's one of the things. So if somebody says they apologize for something they say, it is courtesy to take that apology. Why are you so triggered by a woman's thing she said? If this is true, if it is true and it's not staged, and you're a man, you're supposed to accept that apology and say, "Hey, don't do that again. This is what you did. This is what it means." Right? You move on from that. But no, 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 no. He can't even move on from that. Why can't he move on from that? Because it's exactly the trigger moment. This is what they're gonna make money off of. These are very transactional people. Look how much money they've made off of just one. Which I don't support what she said, but again, I hear worse things than that. I've heard worse things on TikTok today, and I'm gonna cut to. I hope they're still live. They were live this morning. I'm gonna try and catch some of the live feeds out of TikTok to see if they are still on it. It looks like they're still going. I heard Haitians telling their own stories. Uh, the Haitians that came very early on, like when they were 4 years old, 5 years old, came to school in the US, they started to tell their stories of how they were treated by Black Americans when they moved to the US. See, luckily, and I say this in all seriousness, my children won't have to deal with that because my children, like my daughter is very little. She doesn't go to the real world school. She goes to like an early childhood center, which is not really like a school. But this is a suburb that is almost 90% white and Asian. So that's never going to happen. And it's very, very upper. I don't even call it middle class. This is really a high income area. So even if I go to my public schools, we won't have this problem. But I go to private school. My son goes to private school. There's only one black child in that class. Okay. And their parents have very good jobs. And the parents of the black guys the black kid they have very good jobs. And they are really upper class. Their daughter is already in college, right? So these are people that we have something in common with, so we can get along. Even if they're Black Americans, we can get along because we have something in common. We have a common goal. We want better for our kids. We are all professionals, and we are all kind of living in an area that is a bit more affluent. So we know that there's some layer of decorum that people that have attained that status would exhibit. This is why I say the world has now moved into a very class phase. It's not about race anymore. It's all about class and income. This is why I come here and I push for people to get their money up, right? We'll talk about these cultural issues from time to time, but I put in programs and activities to help people. The February challenge was to see how disciplined people were. We haven't even gotten through it. A lot of people are falling off, which I expected, right? So I know, like, I really know I've studied this thing at a very high level. When I was putting the challenge up, I put together very simple task. Out of 8,000 people, I only had maybe 3 or 4 people that responded that they were doing it. But these same people will pay people $7,000, $6,000 for even worse stuff. This is free, right? It was a free honor system to participate. I participated. My wife can attest to it. I have participated in that challenge every damn day. I have done it every day, and I actually enjoy doing it. It got better as the days went along. But I can already tell that some people have fallen off. They couldn't stay off alcohol for 28 days, 50 push-ups, and stay off red meat. Okay, so help your cholesterol, get your exercise up a little bit. 50 push-ups, it's not a lot, but it's very basic. Get some your blood circulating a little bit. And staying out of alcohol for 30 days gives you mental clarity so that you can have better focus. And if you have an addiction, that could be your first step to breaking your addiction. And yet I still couldn't get people to do it. You know what I mean? I couldn't get people to do it. It's like these are skills I have acquired through years and years of learning and paying tuition fees and going to college and going to graduate school. I come on the internet and I give it to people regardless of your ethnicity or your race. I give you the same things that can prepare you to get better. That I should be gatekeeping. I should be keeping this within my own community so that my community gets better, especially during the times we are in right now. And I still don't do that. I come in and put this out publicly. And yet you still can't get young black men to do very simple tasks. You know, it's shocking. It wasn't really shocking to me, but it's also not going to deter me from doing more challenges in the months to come because I know that some people are going to really improve with this stuff. Because we can't talk about jobs and careers and all those things if you're not mentally in the right space to attain that. How are you going to go through an interview process if you can't even stay disciplined with very simple tasks? I'm putting this up to measure something. I'm trying to measure where the space is, where people's minds are. And it right there at the first test, people are failing. That tells me that you're not going to do well in this society, in just this capitalist construct. A lot of people are just not going to do well because they're just not disciplined enough. It requires a certain level of discipline. And at the very first task, a lot of them failed at it. They failed. They couldn't do it.
No, you're speaking
Raven,
fine. I
Raven, are you
clearly
following
understand
me?
what you're saying. Yeah, I'm
I'm
following you
following
well.
you. I
I'm
understand
following
what
you
you're
as
saying.
well. Yeah, I don't think it's relevant. I don't think that's relevant to the topic of reparations.
I just think the sooner these FBA people understand that we don't want their reparations, hopefully they
That's all
can
I'm
stop
saying.
spewing all this hate because honey,
So
nobody wants your reparations.
then I would suggest, and I'm not even the one to even do that. I would suggest telling that to the Haitians that are on those panels talking about, oh, we deserve some of those reparations when FBAs bring it up.
They're
When they
saying that due to the fact of what I just said to you, sir. That's what
right,
I'm letting
all
you know.
right, right. And I'm saying that they are incorrect. That's not how that works. It does.
This whole thing about reparations is a joke, and I did a whole video about it. It's just a deflection because now all the other talking points are being checked. Haitians want reparations for what? You're not gonna get it. It's not like they are about to pass the money around for you to be worked up about this. You don't even have a bill. You haven't really advanced that to a point where why are we even talking about it? It's like me talking about buying a house when I win a lottery and I'm already looking at the sizes of the house, but I haven't even bought a lottery ticket. These people haven't bought the lottery ticket, but they're talking about the mansion that they're about to buy. This is the same thing. It's madness. Reparations is just talking. It's on the internet. There's no bill. There's not even any congressional hearing. We know how bills are passed. We have to address these talking points from practical perspectives. There are stages to how bills and legislations are passed in America. And for somebody that has my ideology and preaches the things that I talk about, I don't need no damn handouts. It's a handout. I don't want it. I don't want anything that I have not earned. Me personally, I don't want anything that I've not earned. I don't take anything that isn't mine. I'm not a taker. I work for every damn dollar that comes into my bank account. I show up to work every morning, Monday through Friday, for every dollar that is paid to me comes out of my own work. There's some dignity to that. That you're able to go out there and hustle it out and get your money. This mindset of, again, this is one of the conflicts that I run into with Black America, which is the programming that you have to always get something. We're not here to get. I'm not interested in the get. I want to work for it. If I'm not the best engineer, then don't give me a job. Compete for my job. I want you to compete for my job. I want you to be the best programmer to get my job. Because that's what I believe. This is why I was very strongly opposed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Because even when my company pushed diversity, equity, and inclusion, the few interviews I did where like I interviewed some Black people, I was forced to literally kind of dumb it down a little bit. And this is the truth. I had to dumb it down a little bit to be able to get some of these guys even to the next step because they were not qualified for these roles. And they even knew they were not qualified for these roles. But it was just a political push to get representation in corporate America for people that just didn't have the skill set to do the jobs. Like they were not even passing some of these interviews and assessments at a 30% level. And I went through maybe multiple interviews. Maybe I interviewed, I would say maybe about 30 to 40 people. Maybe one or two guys were kind of on the margins. And a few that passed through, due to like the heavy push that my corporation was pushing. Because I work for a Fortune 20. Like my company is top 20 globally in revenue on the Fortune 500 list. So obviously companies like the one I work for have a lot of attention when it comes to their views on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they were really kind of forced to bring on a diverse group of engineers, which, yeah, fine. So we opened the quotas up, try to get people on. But every time, even when we dumb it down, we just couldn't find the right talent and the right fit. Most of them were also not a cultural fit because of their inexperience working in the corporate world. You just couldn't do anything with them. This is why I'm saying the way these guys conduct themselves on the internet, sometimes it gives me an idea how they'll perform in real life scenarios. I don't think they are ready for what is about to come globally. They are not ready for the AI world. I work with these robots. I see it, man. Like these people are not ready. And I feel like it's gonna get worse because not being ready means you're gonna be on the internet, you're on benefits, you got all the time in the world to talk bullshit and to push these messed up narratives. There's gonna be some guys that will come along with us. Like Anton Daniels used to say, there will be guys that will come along with us. This is why I leave that opportunity and that possibility to people. But I don't also want to grift. I don't want your money. So I'm not gonna, the guys that have reached out to me, I will respond to you, but on my time, when I have the time, because I'm not doing this for money. So I will respond to you eventually. It's just not going to be as quick and as fast paced as you expect it to be. And I hope that you understand because you're getting a free product, you're getting free advice, you're getting free coaching, and you're getting free guidance. But I also want to gauge where you're at with the community participation events, the things that I put out for you to participate. I want to see you participate. If you're not participating, it just gives me an idea that you're just not ready to take the next step. And I don't want to waste my time on people like that because my time is very precious to me.
Their own country.
Man,
I'm not just going to give you my time just for YouTube's sake. I need to know that even though it's free, you're valuing it, And this regardless of ethnicity. It's out there. You want to take it. You don't want to take it, I don't care. Right. But yeah. I'm gonna get back to their stream to see what else they're talking about.
United States is a bully. It has 40 acres in a meal that you're probably not gonna get a damn get. You're probably gonna get a meal ticket until you going about your way. Like it's crazy. The world is literally falling apart, and people worrying about some FBA and Haitian identity. Man, if you don't get the hell out of here, like my cousin said earlier, we all niggas.
Yeah, but I mean that's what happens when society starts to break down. People start forming tribes.
But that's the
People
goal. Right now is the time we need to be together because the world is falling apart the way that it is.
people are, man.
I don't agree with the whole notion of together. Together means like it's hard, when you have people that are completely different, culturally different. Um, I think the right word is you have to be cordial. You don't have to be together because together is good. It's like when two things are not, it's like mixing oil and water. Two things are completely different, they're divergent. You're trying to force it to be together. You're going to have a lot of problems. Like we talked about yesterday, this is a Pan African problem. We're not together, but you shouldn't look at this phrase as a bad thing that we're not together. We're just two completely different people. But be cordial and respectful to the other side. Be helpful if you can. There's a natural standard human decorum that should be extended to all humans: black, white, Asian, Latino, black American, white American, whatever it is. That as a first step, you should be able to extend to every group and everybody. This is where the conversation should be. I should be treating black Americans the same way I treat white people. That is my worldview. I look at all of them as human beings. That's it. I don't have any uh, aversion or hate towards white people or any other groups. Or I don't care, man. I look at it from a position of good guy, bad guy. That's it. Latino, good. I lived in Latin America. Some of the best people that I've come across in the world were the Latino people. And they treated me very nicely. They taught me their language. They taught me their food, their culture. And I learned a lot of things about them. Talk about hard work. Those guys bust their ass over there in Latin America. And I have lots of love and respect for them. That should be the same thing too. Just treat people right, be nice to people, and leave it alone. This whole thing of togetherness, no, you don't have to do that. I mean, it's a big world of 7+ billion people. We are all going to be different. Even within our communities, we are different people. This It's fake. It's not true that there's some kumbaya that can be crafted out of this. If you believe that you're going to create more and more division without even knowing it, leave people alone. Let them do their own thing. You meet a brother on the street, say hello to him, and keep it moving. If you go to church together and you want to hang out after church and talk about a few things, go for it. If your kids want to play with their kids, let them play. That's it. I've met a lot of parents that I don't know personally. My wife takes their numbers. I go with my kids, we go play with them. We say goodbye and we go on about our business. Nobody's stressing anything. They can be white, they can be Indians, they can be Latinos. This is the world we find ourselves in. All these conflicts are happening because there's some perceived notion that we are always together and we're the same people, and that is not true. Even a Ghanaian is different from a Nigerian, even though we're all Africans, right? So let them start there, but they're not gonna get there because now they've gone into a phase of this that is so toxic, so hateful, that each side is punching back, and I understand the immigrant view of this, why they should, because I believe that these guys have proven to me that they are bullies for the most part, not everybody, but for the most part. And if you allow bullies to trample on you forever, you would have no way to get out of it. It's just gonna get worse. So I see where the Haitians are coming from. It was Haiti before, then eating the cats. Then they went to the Somalis. Looks like they've forgotten about the Somalis very quickly. Now they're going back to the Haitians with this little thing that could have been staged, by the way, right?
They're starting to go. We can't go back to a full blown globalism because we see now that that necessarily doesn't work as well as we thought.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Gone too far.
Yeah, we're going too far. I believe the best thing to do would be the best of the best, and this is just a theory of mine. It's not even that I don't even know if it even work or not. But I think countries, people need to start looking to go back and build their countries up because of what's going on in America. Like a Haiti. Haiti is going through economic destruction and all those problems. And I think one of the reasons why that is going is because the best of the best no longer live there of Haitians.
That's been the typical xenophobic playbook. Go back and build your country, go back and fix this. When you got all these imperial powers sitting on your neck, exploiting your things, causing political instability, this is not a made up shit. This is reality, right? It's just Haiti has never had a break. They started with that earthquake in Port-au-Prince, which is a natural disaster that happened. And after that earthquake, all these due to the struggle to rebuild, these UN people just went in there with all these um, quote unquote here to rebuild and stabilize the country, to really just exploiting them and abusing their women and doing all kinds of things to them, which they're still doing to this very day. They're now sending Kenyan troops. Uh, the goal is that they're saying it not because they care about whether your country is developed. That's not the goal. The goal is they are saying it because if you're not here, then the white folks cannot compare you to them. If you're not here, then you're not competing with them for jobs, is what they are saying. The goal here is anti-competition. But what they fail to understand is being an anti-competitor will make you fail, because competition is the ingredient that feeds capitalism. If T-Mobile, I used that example yesterday. If T-Mobile and Verizon are not competing, we won't have good service, because they will just give you mediocre service and expect that you can do anything about it. It's because of the competitive edge that these companies are going at each other. It forces them to give you better product, better service. And also, that's how they grow their base and that's how they employ people. This is just the capitalism 101. Same with labor. Competition makes you a good programmer. I can be just chilling on the couch if I have nobody gunning to get my job. Competition makes you go to college to learn how to program. Competition makes you go to college to learn to become a doctor. And when I was looking at some stats before I started this live stream, till this very day, there's only 14% of the American population that has a graduate degree, like some type of a graduate degree. 14%. What does that tell you? If somebody comes to me right now and say, Nana, I'm trying to change my life, what do I need to do? Our first question I'll ask you, did you go to college? Do you have an undergraduate degree? If you say yes, I will tell you to go to grad school right now. Because what that is going to do is there's 44% of the population that has at least a bachelor's degree. But you're going to move yourself into a population that has less than 15% competition. You've separated yourself from the masses. This is what competition does. You're going to invest 2 years into a degree that is going to separate you from everybody else. And that separation would mean job security. And when you learn on that job and expand your skills on that job, you're going to stand out and you're going to get even more money with time. Okay? This is what I'll tell somebody. Like, move into those spaces that has more upside, fewer competitors, because you're separating yourself from the rest. Eventually, everybody else is going to try to catch up. But that's when you add more, because you are competing. You add more certifications. I've done 15, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to do some more. I try to do at least 2 or 3 of them every year. So you got to keep at it. You got to keep adding on and adding on to separate yourself. What these guys are trying to talk about is they don't want to compete. They've given up because they don't want to go to med school. They don't want to go to law school. They don't want to be engineers. They don't want to be doctors and lawyers and engineers and, all the other avenues that you can do to stand out in the age of artificial intelligence. They don't want to be computer programmers. They don't want to learn specific skills, even at the basic level, com skills and life skills. Some of these men that you're seeing on the internet right now can't even change oil to save their life. I'm a full blown white collar professional and I can change my own oil. You know, I can fix little things around my house. But a lot of these guys can't even pick a hand tool. Yet they're on the internet talking about an immigrant going back home to fix their country. What are you fixing here? I don't see your construction crews with black people. I don't see them. These are people that are forever complainers. They're going to run away from responsibility. Don't ever think like them. You know, I come on YouTube as somebody that just talks on YouTube. But if you take the commentary out, I'm like a college professor that is giving you free college, because that's actually who I am. I did teach college. So I taught undergraduates in Illinois State University. It's right there. I have the records to show it. I am a college professor, literally sitting here giving you free college advice, free life skills, free life advice. Very different from a lot of the things that you see on YouTube. So this is how I separate myself from the rest. And I'm telling you exactly what the playbook is. That today you're listening to me, you can move away from these stupid ideologies and convert that dopamine into reading and learning, and how you can separate yourself from this dependency mindset, because the capitalist clock is not waiting for you. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're going to lose because when you get yourself to a certain income level, money starts to work for you. So every single time you're sitting down, your dollar signs are going up even when you're not working directly for it. People need to understand this stuff very well at very scale, especially native born Americans, because they have the least drive. Everything is so given to them, they can't match the energy of an immigrant. These immigrants are coming from very tough backgrounds that they're trying not to return to. So they're always going to have more energy towards success. And also, they'll have a playbook. They'll have people like me telling them what to do, because that's what I've done for my community all these years. I've talked to little kids that are finishing high school, and I've given them guidance on what to learn in college and what courses to take. Some of them I check on them to this very day, what classes to take, where to go, what resources, how to find scholarships in America. I have all these tools. My wife just reached out to me. A family member is asking about scholarships in Europe, and I have to try and do some research and help them out. So I give my people these tools. There's other people like me that are doing it for our people too. You need people like this, that in any community, you need people that can, through their experiences, can share these opportunities with you. And then you take that and then you add on and then you strengthen that and expand yourself. But if you sit on the internet hoping that you're going to get answers with these things that just make you feel good, you're just not going to do well. And the immigrants are not going anywhere. You can't kill all of them. You can't do anything to them. You cannot. It's America. They're just going to keep coming. If you look at the immigration trend, even in a time of crackdown and ICE deportations, the numbers are still going up. People are always going to move here. It's a little bit more controlled because now you don't have illegals, but you're still going to have legal immigration. And when you have legal immigration, see, the legal immigration is even the one that is more effective when it comes to jobs, because those people have the eligibility to work. The illegals, they just do little under table jobs, which none of you want to do anyway. The legals, there are different tiers to them. There are some that will do regular jobs here and there, Walmart, McDonald's, blah, blah, blah. That's that kind of thing. Factory jobs, warehouse jobs, where most minorities sit anyway. But then you have the H-1B groups and the EBs. Those ones are the ones that are programming and coding this same software that me and you are speaking on. Those are not going to go anywhere because you are not a programmer. So until you become a programmer that can't find a job, you are not even part of this conversation. You shouldn't even be talking. You have no stake in this. Yeah, you don't have the skill to be able to even be part of this debate. I want to see a black programmer that got laid off come on TikTok and make a video and complain about Indians and Africans, Nigerians or Ghanaians taking his programming jobs. Now he does not have an opportunity. That'll be a legitimate complaint, but that's not the case, because those people, when they get laid off, they just take all their skills and they go to another sector of the tech industry and they do well, because part of the skills that you learn in college, it's not just academic or targeted towards a job. It teaches you also how to structure things, how to work your finances, how to diversify portfolios, invest, and how to live. Like your main structure of life is shaped by the college you go to. And it also teaches you relationship building and connections and networks. That's what you miss when you don't go to college. You don't have a network. Your network is just on TikTok and YouTube to make you feel good. That's it. My network is guys that work at Starbucks, Moccasin, Bank of America, Chase, stuff like that. Doctors, lawyers, those are my network. And you only build that if you go to college. This is why college, when I hear this topic, oh, no, don't go to college. College, no. College is a good thing. College is not just targeted towards the things you're going to learn in class and go to job. It's called university. Universal life. You learn everything. It's 4 years of learning a whole lot of things. And if you pick the right courses and do the right things, the data suggests that your chances of success is pretty high. And if you move it even a step further, which is what I encourage people to do, if you have an undergraduate degree, I think you should get the next step and go to grad school and get that layer of graduate education. But when you're picking the specialty for graduate education, make sure that it's centered around management, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And you would have no problems. Normally, these people that I just talked about would have also no problems with immigrants. They wouldn't. What do they care? They are eating, right? They are eating. They won't have any issues with immigrants.
Yeah. But yeah, no, big up to Haiti. They did a lot. Is the tension between FBA and the diaspora rooted in history, identity, or competition? Damn. No, Reed's not asleep, bro. She's up. Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, what?
No. I wanted to ask you your question.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a big Grace Spectator. I'm addressing your. Yeah, there's a big skill gap or skill shortage
Example of what I'm
in
talking
America
about
right
that
now.
happened in 1803. But
There's a big skill shortage in America right now. So the trade route will get you employed first. I think you can do either or. But for me, when it comes to certain ages, when I get these calls and people ask me for advice, I always pick the college route. One, that's what I know best. But two, I look at it from a more universal perspective and not necessarily just the skill that you're going to acquire, but the connections and the networks that you're going to build. Trade schools tend to be very specific. So in your network, you're just going to have whatever trade you learned. If you want to do plumbing, then you just have a plumber as a friend and a bunch of other plumbers. That's a very limited scope of a network. But if you go to university, some people in your class will go to med school. So you have some doctor friends. Some of you guys will go to engineering schools. So you have some engineering friends. You'll be like, oh, why does that matter? Well, if I went to school to do, let's say, business administration, and I have a doctor friend, what if one of my doctor friends starts his own hospitals or clinics or urgent care and they need somebody to manage it? You can come in because you have the skills to manage, right? If somebody's a lawyer and you need somebody to manage the firm for them, you can go there and add your business skills, because all these sectors, they expand themselves through business. They have to do business somehow to make money, right? They have to trade somewhere. So your trade skills will come in there. This is why I encourage the college option. And I think too, because it's very expensive, a lot of people shy away from it, but you can do it through scholarships. This is why you have to study. This is what I tell people. Like, you have to make sure that you have a good SAT score or ACT score, whichever direction you're going. You have to also source scholarships. You got to look at scale and not specifically within your state only. You got to look at all 50 states, regardless of how far it is from home. and try to get the best scholarships that you can get. And if you can't do it the scholarship route, then you go to your local community college and do 2 years and transfer into a 4 year. Either way, you can get through a 4 year college in America for under $15,000, which is good. It's pretty good. Okay. So this is why I say, for the income that you kind of get, if you choose the right courses and you have the right guidance, I'll choose college over trade school any day. But trade school is also a good option. Maybe you can start with trade school, um, get your feet wet a little bit, make some money, startup money, and transfer that into college. That'll help you too. But I think the whole notion of trade school with AI coming right now, like, you have to be very specific with what kind of trade that you want to learn. It has to be something that technology can erase. Maybe plumbing, right? Technology can erase, but trade school also comes with competition from cheap foreign labor. So the same foreigners that we're trying to run away from, you find out whatever you've learned in trade school, you're going to come under a lot of competition from the Mexicans, because they're going to do it on the cheap, right? This is why they are the only ones building these houses. So I I wouldn't tell anybody in my community right now. Like, I'm talking to all of you as my community, even the guys that disagree with me. I wouldn't tell any of you to choose a trade school option because of artificial intelligence and its impact on robotics, and also it's usually susceptible to cheap foreign labor, because I mean, anything you do with your hands, amigos are going to do it on the cheap, and they are going to outcompete you, because nowadays they're not just doing it with the labor, they're doing it as businesses. So they formed plumbing businesses, they formed electrical businesses, and they're going to outbid you, because a lot of these things are going to be open for a public bid, and they will just outbid you. And when they outbid you, then your skills, you're going to be the plumber that has all these skills but doesn't get any work, right? So I wouldn't encourage any of my people listening to go that route. I think your best shot that can be resistant to AI, can be resistant to cheap foreign labor, is to go to the old system that everybody knows best, which is a 4 year college, man. You just have to find it on the cheap. The apprehension to college is because of the cost. So your job is to get guidance, and if anybody's listening and needs that help, or you have a child that is at that age and you want guidance, you can send me an email. I'll find some time to talk to you. You have to make sure that you're picking the courses engineered for today's labor market. You have to really research what the labor market looks like and what the projections are for today's labor market. If you don't do that, you're just going to college just to be a number, right? And I think beyond college, maybe after a year or two of employment, you should look into going to grad school, because grad school is what is going to separate you from everybody else that went to college. This is why I push this. It's a 6 year timeline, but look at me now. If I was worried about those 6 years when I was doing it in my 20s, I would be like, oh my God, why am I spending 6 years doing it? I'll save so much money. I'll be working. I don't even know where the money is from the first 3 years of my current employment, because you're living, you're paying bills, the money is going to go anyway, right? So I think you should not look at this in terms of time. Just do the damn thing. Just go to college and get that degree. That's it. Get it. When you're done with it, then you're going to see your friend that you left who was hustling and doing a hard job. You're going to make so much money beyond what they're making. It's not even, that time is not going to matter. And when you're in college, build networks, do internships and build networks. You have to have your LinkedIn up. You have to have your LinkedIn up. You have to have networks. You have to learn how to communicate with people about anything. Like, you should be able to, like, when I'm talking to my bosses, sometimes we're just talking about their kids and what the kids did yesterday, right? Stuff like that. It just builds a good rapport with them. It softens you in their eyes, and it just opens up a lot of opportunities for you. That's just the new playbook, man. This internet bullshit that we do and we talk about, man, nobody goes around sweating who is Indian and who is Caribbean. Nobody cares, man. Just figure out, even in software, where people are saying, well, software is dead, software is dead. I'm still making a killing in software. You just have to understand where the money is. I'm gatekeeping a little bit of stuff because, like sometimes when this is the internet, if I tell 8,000 people where the money is, then I'm going to be outcompeted. So I have to gatekeep some things. I just can't tell you everything, right? But I put SAP out there, but it's a lot more different things. There's MuleSoft, there's Salesforce, there's all kinds of other stuff that I don't want to mention on a broadcast like this. But software is not dead, man. There's just so many. There's just so much money in software. Like some people just don't have a clue, man. I've done contracts, which I kind of lazy it up today, so I didn't log in. I did YouTube instead, but I'm doing contracts right now for $75 to $90 an hour for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and I log in and do it whenever I want. So it's remote. I do it whenever I want, but I can't even keep up with stuff like that. So I know the work is out there. Even if you don't work full time and you just do contract based, when I have 4-month or 3-month contracts, I can make all the money most people make in a year in those 3 months. You can do. There's just so much you can do with software right now that it's just not gonna go anywhere, man. You just need to have the right tools to get into that. Salute to you, Gen Z. I'm gonna be wrapping this up because my workmate is gonna come visit. She lives nearby, but she's never been to my house. We live 5 minutes apart. One of my team members lives 5 minutes apart, and she and her husband are gonna stop by here in a bit. So when I see my alarm system notifies me that somebody's around the house, I will log off. You said trades are a good alternative if you don't want to go to college. Yes, you did HVAC in community college, and I was gonna go work for, but my father pushed me to continue. Yeah. I think school is better. My wife went to SMU. Shout out to SMU. Just take those internships, man. Like people overlook the power of internships. Take those internships every summer. Invest your summer into going into these companies to do your internships. While you're there, build a network, man. Build a network. This is all networking. Like I don't apply for jobs, man. Like I just call people. That's the difference. I don't just like apply. Or sometimes people call me, guys that I've worked with in the past. They'll just call me and say, hey, we're about to hire for this position. So before you see that job application, they've already gone through our resume. That's what college does. Like it skips that layer of struggling through 10 different rounds of interviews. It just makes it easy. I was supposed to go do some SAP work for Toyota here in Dallas. The only reason I turned it down is they wanted me to come in 3 days a week. I said, no, I'm not going 3 days a week. I work from home. I've worked from home literally my whole life. It's planned around working from home. So even though Toyota was going to pay me lots of money, really, I just wasn't going to go in. I just couldn't do it. I said, nope, I'm not taking the job. And most people went through 3 rounds of interviews. I only did 1. I did 1 with 4 different people. That's it. The other guys did 3 rounds because they didn't have any leverage. It all boils down to skill, man. It's not about race and all these things they talk about. There was a Nigerian guy actually on the interview panel. So these guys they're going into places, and this is Toyota. Like right here in Dallas, Toyota is one of our biggest employers. To get a job at Toyota is a good thing, man. But I turned it down because my company currently does better than Toyota, but Toyota was going to pay me more. The only reason that I turned it down is I just couldn't do 3 days in the office. And I didn't want to go learn a new culture. Like I'm grandfathered in my current culture. Like why should I go switch it up? I don't want to switch it up. So yeah, man, this whole thing, move your mindset away from take versus give type mindset and look at it from earning. Like you got to earn your strides, man. You got to earn your way. You got to put in the work to be able to get stuff. Nobody's gonna give you anything. The government's not going to give you nothing. They're not giving you no reparations. It's not even on the books. They're not even talking about it. It's not even top 20 key items politically. So where are we going with this? Instead, why are you donating to a reparations course? spend that money on Coursera and learn a skill. Like that $30 you give Tariq Nasheed, go on Coursera.org and learn a skill. You can literally, I mean, a lot of you spend more than 10 hours a week, 10 hours a day on YouTube. You can learn a skill for 1 hour a day for 6 months straight. 1 hour a day. You can literally learn how to program 1 hour a day, even if you're not the best math student. 1 hour a day is all it takes. Watch a programming video 1 hour every day. You're going to be a great programmer, but you spend 10 hours on YouTube complaining about immigrants. And year in and year out, they don't do well. You know, and most of the times, I mean, at least I give you guys credit. You guys don't spend your energy on YouTube channels that
But
don't
what I was saying,
that don't teach anything. At least I teach people stuff here. I still do some of the bullshit too. Yeah, it's entertainment. There's always a time for entertainment. So I also do the bullshit. But outside of the bullshit, I still provide you things that help you. And I give you free information. I tell you stuff that can really, like, if you act on one thing that I tell you, by December of this year, you would be in a whole different space. But I know most of you are not going to act on it anyway, right? Yeah, this is why I tested out that February challenge, and I still didn't get a lot of people to do it, which was something very simple that I did. You know, I'm part of these things that I put out. So yeah, let's see. These guys will probably be coming here in a bit. I hope I took all your questions. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining. This was pretty good for a first stream on this one. I'll clip this up and share it to yeah, I want to answer this. Get certificates on culture, if you can code them. Yeah, you can do that. Build portfolios, show them in interviews that you can actually do the work. But the problem is sometimes the barrier of entry is a college degree. It's like a way for them to, and I know this because I've been the employer. It's not my job, but I've represented my company interviewing people. So I'm giving you first-hand experience of how the process works, especially in tech, right? Because we're talking about tech and IT now. We have filters that will literally sometimes take out people that don't have college degrees. We have an SAP engineer that didn't go to college, Kristen, very, very good. White lady from Ohio, really, really good. She's been at the company 17 years. She is a P4 like me. I'm a P4, she's a P4. That's the highest promotion she can get. Okay. She started on as a P1, went to P2, went to P3, and in 17 years, she's a P4. That's the last level of the professional grade. Then you go into management. She can never apply for any management positions internally because she doesn't have a college degree. So she's gone and gotten a 2 years associates online while she's working. And she's hoping to get a 4-year degree, but she's struggling to get it because it's, she's worked all these years and she's debating whether it's necessary for her to go. It took her 17 years to get to a P4 rank. I joined the company as a P3. That's the difference. So I skipped all these steps, 5 years of experience with an advanced degree. I skipped that. And then I moved from a
tribes is
P3
because I didn't want to turn this into a tribalistic conversation, so I just left it at that.
and then I moved from a P3 to a P4 in 2 years. So I outdid all her professional career in 2.5 years just because of college. So that's what college can do, right? And now she's capped. She can go beyond P4. She's done. She's going to sit at P4 forever. Doesn't matter how many certifications she get, because it's company policy that you cannot go into the M track, which is the management track, if you don't have an undergraduate degree. So the only way she can move to the next level is to get an undergraduate degree. It's never too late. And she's in her 40s, she can still get it. So this is why I encourage you to get it. Just get your 4-year. You can do it the same amount of time and effort. There are even degrees on Coursera right now. Coursera has universities that has partnered with it to deliver full degree programs online for the cheap. Like you can go to Georgia State for $10,000 right now. Okay, so just we're talking about the benefits and they're coming here to get stuff. They're coming here to get stuff. Why are you not taking FAFSA to go to grad school at Georgia State for $10,000? People don't know that you can go to Georgia State for 10,000, and you can do that online. And that's Georgia Tech. I think it's Georgia Tech, which is a really, really good school. So use your citizenship and your Americanness to take the tools that the government provides you currently and add a bit of hard work and dedication to it to be able to achieve that. That pool of money doesn't finish. The immigrants are not exploiting that. That's available to you. You can literally go on Coursera and sign up for a bachelor's degree, and then you can apply for FAFSA to pay for it. If it's an undergraduate degree, you might get the free one, and then you borrow a little bit to make up the rest. Do your courses in the evening. Cut down on your YouTube time. Cut down on your YouTube time and work and go to school online. Use your YouTube time to do your courses online. Entertain yourself once in a while. If your YouTube algorithm is not feeding you content that can expand your possibilities and opportunities, tune out, man. Tune out, because in the age of AI, you're going to be left behind, and it's going to be sad to watch. Yeah, I saw the one at Boulder, $15,000. This is not a lot of money, man. You can go on Coursera and do a full degree through the university, so they won't even know that you did it on Coursera, and spend the same 3 hours that you spend on YouTube every day. You can just channel that into learning your course. And if you learn your course, you will do well. You get that degree and you're going to do well. Those are the conversations that need to be had. Go ahead and get those degrees. And do it while you're working, because now you can do it online. During my time, I had to go live on a campus. Now you can actually do it online, and they won't put on your degree that you got it online. They'll just say you got the degree. Some of them have campus immersion, so you go to campus for like one semester. That's it. So you can keep your job, do the degree, spend 2 hours a day on your schoolwork. You just have to cut down on your YouTube time. You'll be able to achieve that. You go ahead and you do it. Get that degree. When you go on campus immersion, meet other like minds, build some network, build some connection, meet people online that are doing the same things, get into right communities of people that are doing more productive things. Because these guys online are not doing anything productive. They're not. So yeah, even if my topics sometimes are part of the trend and the bullshit, if you actually watch the videos, throughout the videos, most of the times I will give you information like I'm giving you right now. Some will take it, some will not take it. Some will do these challenges, some will not do the challenges. It's just to make you better. That's it. Regardless of your community, whether you're Black American or Asian, I don't give a damn. Or man or woman, I don't care. You're human. You want to improve and you want to do some stuff. The resource is here. I've given you the resource. I've done my job. I've done my little bit for America. Okay, even though they look at this as take us, at least I've done my little bit for America. Some of them will take it, some of them will leave it. And that's fine with me. Let's see what I'm doing here. But yeah, I guess we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for joining the show. Great stream. I'm going to come up with a schedule for these streams, and also we'll do the panels. We'll bring the panels back on this one too. So stay tuned for some changes on these YouTube streets, and you'll be getting the clips on the other side. I want to wish you guys a great Sunday, and have a good week.